We're joined this afternoon with some very, very special guests that are joining us here in the studio. We are joined because the International League T20, otherwise known as the DP World ILT20, as of this morning, is the UAE's very own T20 Cricket League, which is set to create unprecedented cricketing excitement for fans in both the UAE and also around the world. We are joined in studio by Zayed Abbas, a member of the Emirates Cricket Board, and also Mike Fordham, Head of League Operations. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in to TSB. Great to have you here.
It's our pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
I mean, you must be the VIPs because you've got the fresh tea before you've even said a word.
I know, the royal treatment. Lovely.
It's an exciting time for you. The big tournament does start. It's coming up January 13. But talk us through this big announcement today with the partnership with DP World.
Yeah, well, we're very pleased about that. Absolutely delighted. It's been a lot of hard work by the team getting that deal over the line. It's a big step for the league. Yeah. So we clearly wanted to get a big brand on board as the title partner, and it's important for us that it's a local brand from the UAE, but also one that has a lot of global reach and global credibility, given what they've done in other sports.
Yeah, well, traditionally they work with golf a lot, DP World. But what was this tournament attractive for them? Why was it attractive?
I think it'd be a number of things, really. You know, projecting the UAE globally, internationally. You know, it's in the name, the International League T20. DP World want to project themselves to a global audience. Yeah. They have done a little bit in cricket before. They were associated with one of the IPL teams, Royal Challengers Bangalore, when that event was held here. But this is obviously a major sponsorship for them, and a huge milestone for us as a league. So thanks a lot to DP World.
It's great to have big partners like that. Zayed, you're working with so many of the players with the Emirates Cricket Board. You are with the players going to Australia. How was the experience being a part of a T20 World Cup in Australia?
Well, of course, it was an honour for us to be there with the UAE cricket team. And I've done it before, even in 2015 when we went to the 50 over
tournament. Yes.
Yes. So this time it was very special, really, and it was the first time that we won a match against Namibia. So I would say that the team that we had this time with us is a team that we're looking forward to, and I think they have a bright future to represent UAE at greater heights.
Well, this is what's so remarkable, because whilst there will be 84 international players, we've got 24 UAE-based players. They're going to be playing and also mixing with some of the greats in the world. How is the excitement with a lot of these players that suddenly there's an opportunity to be playing, alongside great names like Andre Russell in a T20 league in their home country?
Exactly. I mean, in the past, we used to always, encourage our players to play the local leagues and, to have a good names for the selection. But now you're talking about another level where they will be maybe selected by bigger teams for other international leagues. So definitely this is a great opportunity for them. And it's their career, basically, and they're all professionals.
And they get the opportunity to play in front of family and friends and their home crowd. It's going to be a remarkable tournament. If you do want to get more details, the website is ILT20.ae. Mike, in your role of Head of League Operations, it's incredibly tough to run a league like this, let alone set one up that's never been there. New clubs, new owners. How are you looking at marketing each team to a fan base? Because it's hard when you hear... We've got cricket. We know how popular cricket is. Yeah. How do you think players or certain fans are going to be able to align themselves to certain clubs?
Well, you're right. I mean, there's a huge interest in cricket here. That's one of the really exciting factors. And clearly we've seen the big success of events like ICC tournaments, the Asia Cup earlier this year. The IPL's been held here a couple of times. Yeah. But this is obviously different in that it's an event that's going to take place every single year in the UAE, same time every year. And we want the 6 teams in this league to establish a local following, a local fan base. And when you look at who the teams are in this league, it's a really interesting mix. So we've got 3 teams that are part of IPL teams, so Mumbai Indians, the Knight Riders, and Delhi Capitals, who have the Dubai Capitals here in Dubai. And then there's 3 other teams outside the IPL sphere. I think it's really exciting to have that mix. One of those is part of the Glazer Group.
The Desert Vipers with Lancer Capital. Yes.
Lancer Capital. I know you've had Tom and Phil from Desert Vipers on the show before. And, the reach that those guys bring and the expertise from other sports is really exciting. And obviously we have 2 other fantastic franchises as well, the Adani Group with Gulf Giants and Capri Global with Sharjah Warriors. So it's really exciting to help these teams establish their identity locally. Clearly we've got 3 teams in the league which are named after the 3 cities, and then 3 which are sort of non-city specific, who'll play their games across different
Was that a
stadiums.
strategic policy?
It was, yeah. We obviously we've got three fantastic venues here in the UAE, three great stadiums in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah. So three teams were always going to be specifically affiliated directly with those three venues, and then the other three, Dubai Capitals, Desert Vipers. I think they see themselves largely being from Dubai, but obviously they're going to play a game in Sharjah, and then the Gulf Giants play games across Sharjah and Dubai as well.
It's a fantastic time of year. We've seen the support for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, that there's a huge appetite for live sport in this region. And now finally we've got not just a fantastic tournament like the IPL come here, but that's still an Indian league.
Yeah.
Now we've got the UAE have got something to own. Zayed, your work at the Emirates Cricket Boards, it must be a real sense of pride that Emirates Cricket Board now has their own International League T20.
Absolutely. It's been a very long journey.
How long has the journey been? When did this idea first spark up?
Well, discussions used to happen all the time, but we never really clicked, and this is it, basically, the ILT20. Of course, I mean, it's a very challenging journey, and you have to do a lot to make this happen. And of course, Mike can tell you even more about it.
Yeah, well, when you look at this, Mike, it's phenomenal to get to this point so quickly. But when we look back in February when the tournament's over, what are some of the key benchmarks that you're looking for to ensure that it's been successful?
I think it's a number of things. I mean, one of the things we're focusing on at the moment is trying to get as many people in the venues as possible, so as many people can enjoy the action and become fans of these teams. So there's a big push at the moment on ticket sales, and you'll see a lot of marketing activity.
And they're cheap, so they start at 20 dirhams, children at 10 dirhams.
Yeah, and that's a major objective of ours, to make it affordable, to make it family friendly. You're right, the tickets for all venues start at 20 dirhams, just 10 for kids. We know that there's a lot of games in a short space of time, so we need to be creative with our marketing, and that's why we've made it affordable. We want this to appeal to a big cross section of society, all sorts of people. The UAE is an amazing melting pot of cultures, and we want this to be something which everybody can come and enjoy.
Yeah.
But I guess the other big objectives, clearly we want it to be attractive on the television viewership back in India. So we have a big global TV rights deal with Zaya, who will be screening the games in India as well as sub-licensing the rest of the world. But then, that's a very sort of commercial marketing terminology. We have cricketing objectives as well. So we mentioned the impact on UAE players, the fact that we've got 24 UAE players, 2 in every match day 11 with each team. We want this to have a big impact on cricket here, both in terms of a development opportunity for the current UAE players, but also inspiring young kids here to take up the game, to watch the game, and
which is the key thing as always. It's inspiring that next generation. We've got a question that's come through on 0586861003. I'm looking forward to the tournament. Will you still have the zinger bales that light up? Are they going to be in?
We will.
The look from Zayed's quite confused there.
That's an exciting part of the game. It's been a little bit controversial occasionally, and sometimes the bales, some people say they don't come off when they should do.
They're bales that light up sometimes when they're removed.
Yeah, so they will be here.
Okay, great.
Flown over from Australia.
Yeah.
So they will be arriving, and we'll have them in every game.
They're heavier, aren't they?
Supposedly not, but some say that occasionally the bales could be harder to dislodge. But I'm sure we won't have any controversies in the DP World ILT20.
Well, we're looking forward to it. As we said, it's now the DP World ILT20. It starts on January the 13th, and here on TSB, we're in conversation with Mike Fordham, the head of league operations, and Zayed Abbas, who is a member of the Emirates Cricket Board. If you do have any questions, you can let us know. 0586861003. Zayed, we know how much work has been going into this tournament, which is going to be starting, but it's also great not only for the fans, but for many of the players. We were just discussing off air, the Zambian player David Visa was so well in the World Cup, both here, a year later in Australia. He's been in the IPL, and he's an example of a player who now gets a tremendous opportunity to play in world-class grounds, in a world-class setup, and continue furthering their career.
That's right. On the 21st of October, when we played in the Cricket World Cup against Namibia, David Visa was there, and everyone was saying, we need to get this guy out. He's a great player. He plays for IPL. We want our players to be in that position one day. And I'm sure after the DP World ILT20, we will have such names on the world class level.
And for people who are looking to get tickets, they're going to be on sale within the next couple of days. And one of the great things that people want to get there certainly is that first match on the 13th of January. But you've also got Jason Derulo. What a superstar to have.
Yeah, so we've got an opening ceremony on the 13th of January.
Yeah,
we've got
Sorry?
Jason Derulo, obviously from the US, and then also a massive star from India, Badshah, who's a massive rapper. I'm sure you're a fan. He's
well, you gave me all these records.
Well,
so,
and he's actually written the official ILT20 anthem, which you'll be able to see on our social channels, which is going.
Yes, we've been playing it regularly, actually.
I know you guys have been playing it. Yeah. It's proving quite a big hit. So he'll be performing, as will Jason Derulo. So that will hopefully get us off to a really exciting start, hopefully in front of a packed crowd at Dubai Stadium.
Yeah, so Dubai Capitals and the Dhabi Knight Riders. And yeah, you talk about the facilities of the cricket grounds. Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi, you've got the Dubai International Stadium, also Sharjah, which has got so much history, so much international cricket has been played in that stadium. Zayed, has the infrastructure changed? Have you had to upgrade any of the facilities, any of the dressing rooms to get ready for the tournament?
For sure. All three stadiums, Sharjah, Dubai and Abu Dhabi, have upgraded their facilities. Even they have increased the capacity of the stadium, the seating capacity. This was way before the World Cup, even before the IPL was hosted in the UAE a couple of years ago. So they were basically prepared for such big events, and definitely it was successful. They were able to accommodate the numbers that was planned, and I believe we've got a lot of great feedback from the event organizers and the hosts.
Yeah, I think that's one of the really appealing things about cricket in this part of the world. Those three stadiums that you mentioned, they're all fantastic. They've all got their own unique charms. Cricketers have played them a fair bit over the last few years in these big tournaments, and they love coming here. You know, they love the facilities, superb practice facilities. The hotels are great. So it's such an appealing destination for top-class cricketers to come, which is one of the reasons this is an appealing tournament for them.
I think last year when many of the players had to go into lockdown, I think they were quite excited about having to spend 2 weeks in some of the hotels across the UAE.
Absolutely. I mean, they're amazing. You know, actually, a lot of the cricketers come here on holiday.
Yeah.
Some are here at the moment, in fact.
Yeah. Well, we asked Tom Moody that. We said, if someone goes out injured, are you just going to pull Chris Gale off a boat party somewhere?
Well,
and bring him in?
I think he's been here. I think he was in Qatar last week.
Yeah.
So maybe, you never know.
He's enjoying himself. But that is one of the other attractive things about this for so many players, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere, to come to the Emirates, to come to the UAE. Perfect weather, great facilities. It's attractive. Well, not only for players, but when you think about how much of the world's population is only within a 4-hour flight, it's a great opportunity to make your way here for a couple of days to enjoy the cricket.
You know, it's a lot of hard work behind it. It's a team effort. You know, the organizers, the stadiums, and the authorities. They all work together hand in hand. And they make sure that every single aspect is met and up to the highest standard. So and this is why I would say that the players, from the time they arrive in the airport and until they go back, it's a very smooth experience for them.
One of the hardest things you're doing with the tournament going from the 13th of January to the 12th of February, I mean, the amount of games, it's going to be, 35 games? I think
34,
you've got 34 games. Yeah. How hard is the scheduling to get it all right?
Scheduling's always a challenge with these leagues. I've been involved in a few different cricket leagues over the years, and people never quite understand how complicated it can be. It's not just trying to get it balanced from a sporting perspective. You've got to get the right balance.
How long does it take?
Yeah, it takes several weeks, because then you need to take feedback from different stakeholders. You need to make it work from the broadcast perspective. You need to make it as economical as possible from moving TV crew around and things like that. So it's complicated. The most important thing is getting it right in terms of sporting fairness, so teams have the same number of games over a similar period.
And certain equal rest periods.
Equal games, at weekends compared to the week. We've got a few games in the day, so we didn't want to have too many teams having too many day games. So it's a complicated project, but Salman, our tournament director, has done a fantastic job in getting that over the line and getting a schedule that the stakeholders are pretty happy with, I think.
That almost everyone's happy with.
I think pretty much everyone's happy, I hope.
I would say, UAE cricket has earned its trust as an event organizer. We've done it before and we'll do it again, even better.
I think you're quite right there. Yeah. It's an attractive for a lot of players to come and do a tournament where you say, we've had a World Cup final. We've had IPL, we've had Asia Cup,
Exactly.
we've had the most fanatical fans that I've ever seen. Especially, we were in commentary for some of the India-Pakistan matches, and the scenes are like no other sporting fans on earth. It's extraordinary, and I guess that's really attractive as a way to try and buy into so many of the multicultural aspect of Dubai to get them to the games.
Yeah, I mean, Asia Cup was amazing. I was at quite a few games, actually, not just India-Pakistan. The Sri Lanka games were great. The Afghanistan games were great. And actually, we've got a lot of players from those two countries, Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. So we hope a lot of the fans who came for the Asia Cup for those games will come out for DP World ILT20.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Hasaranga play. He's always been one of my favourites. Any favourite players you're looking forward to seeing, Zayed? You mentioned David Visa, he must be playing, but also I guess most of the local Emirati players you'd be looking forward to seeing.
Definitely,
yeah.
That's what I'm aiming for, along with the board. It's actually our vision to develop those talents that we have, and even encourage the juniors to fight for their position in the men's team. And I would say, this is the best place for them to showcase their talents. 24 players.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm excited about seeing how the UAE guys get on, particularly, learning from people like, Trent Bolt, Andre Russell, you mentioned, Hasaranga, Dwayne Bravo, Kieran Pollard, Moeen Ali, David Milan, Chris Wokes, a lot of big names from around the world. But I also hope we're going to see a few maybe lesser names coming through. We've got two other players, in addition to the UAE players, from each team from ICC associate nations. So we've got, I think, 3 players from Scotland, 1 from the USA, a couple of others from Namibia, 1 from Oman. So that's quite a unique element to this league as well compared to other T20 leagues.
Because it also puts them in the shop window for other T20 leagues, doesn't it?
Exactly, and those guys will be looking for opportunities in other leagues. But this is in itself is a good opportunity for them. That they're getting paid pretty well. These guys, it's one doesn't like to talk about money too much, but it's the second highest salary cap of any league now in the world here. So that's an appealing element. And you're right, particularly with 3 IPL teams affiliated with this could be a shop window opportunity for some of these guys.
The tournament, and we've spoken so much about the UAE players that are going to be there, the associate nations that have got players, but we can't really go past some of the superstars that are going to be there. I'm just seeing the news came through yesterday. Sunil Narine is going to be the captain of the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. And how important is it when you're running a T20 league to ensure that you get the best people in these big name players?
Yeah, obviously it's very important for 2 reasons really. One is, most important one, is the quality of the cricket. When you're putting together a sports event, the critical thing is the sport itself is exciting and fantastic, because if you get that right, then the rest follows. The fans follow, the commercial returns follow. So, you need the good quality of players there to make the cricket good, but you also need them for the marketing, to kind of pin your advertising campaigns around. So, getting people like Narayan and some of the others I mentioned was a big coup for the league.
And there seems to be a big English contingent. I know Moeen Ali's coming out here as one of them, and is that due to the proximity? They haven't been travelling to Australia quite often to do the BBL or some of the other tournaments. Is it just literally perhaps the proximity to home?
It's a combination of a few things, really. I mean, there's still a few English guys playing in the BBL, but as I mentioned earlier, this is a very appealing place for people from any country to come, but particularly the UK. As you say, it's quite close. They bring their families. It's a nice place to visit. But it's fallen this year in quite a nice window when England don't have too many international commitments. Quite often England are playing Test cricket in Australia, over the Christmas period, or South Africa or something like that. But when England, I am English, we're not this year. So it's fallen for quite a good window there. And I think just the proposition of this league and some of the investors and team owners we've got there, some of the coaches we've got there, it's clearly struck a chord with the English players. And I think there's about 15 England players playing in this tournament. Has
there ever been a concern that there is some T20 fatigue within a lot of the fans? We're on the back of 2 World Cups in 2 years, and the market's had IPLs, you've had Asia Cups, there's BBL, there's tournaments going on consistently. Is that a concern when you're putting together a program like this?
It can be. There, as you mentioned, there has been a lot of T20 cricket and there are other leagues coming up in other parts of the world. There's one starting in the US next year. There's a new league starting in Europe, in Ireland and Scotland in the summer, the European summer. So there is a lot of cricket around, but it is what fans want. It seems, particularly in this part of the world and in the Indian subcontinent, the appetite for fans for T20 cricket is very high. And I think we come at a good time in the year for player availability, and hopefully the interest from fans will follow.
No, I think it certainly will. We know the tournament is going to be starting on January the 13th. It's a 34-match event. There's 6 franchise teams. And Zayed, can I ask you which of the 6 teams you're most looking to support? Do you have a favourite amongst the 6?
Am I allowed to say?
Can you say which one it is? Yeah. Who do you think it is? Of the 6, we'll run through them. There's the Dhabi Knight Riders, the Desert Vipers, Dubai Capitals, Golf Giants, the Emirates, as we know, have the affiliation with the Mumbai Indians and the Sharjah Warriors.
Dubai Capitals.
Any reason why?
I'm from Dubai.
You're a Dubai boy. See, that makes sense. Yeah. And I think that is really interesting for a lot of children of expats that are here have often supported their parents' national sides, and they've often supported the teams that their parents have supported. But now, if you were born here to expat parents, for the first time, you've actually got a sporting team that's your own that you can support. It must be attractive for many fans.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things for us. This is, the UAE's own event, which will come back every single year. It might take a bit of time. We recognise that to establish itself, but you saw that with the IPL. Those were new franchises when that started in 2008, and now, teams like Mumbai Indians, Chennai Super Kings are the biggest entertainment brands in India. And I think that over time that can happen in this country too.
It's not just going to be cricket. There's also the opening ceremony on the 13th. It's going to be featuring some incredible superstars. We know the opening ceremony will be featuring the work of Jason Derulo. But what's happening in regards to activations? Will there be other activations for fans in and around the tournaments?
There will be, yeah. We want it to be a really fun event for people to visit. So there'll be a lot going on, a lot of kind of family activities around the venues. It's a great time of year in terms of the weather. So we hope fans will come and enjoy some food and enjoy an evening out. There'll be other entertainment at every venue. So there'll be music, there'll be cheerleaders, everything like that.
Yep.
Our partners will be doing activations in the venues to entertain the fans. So it'll be an all-round entertainment experience that will hopefully appeal to not just the absolute hardcore cricket fans, but to everybody really.
And whilst there is a lot of work that's going on right across the Emirates Cricket Board, Zayed, there must be some friendly competition between some of the Emirates to make sure that their sides or their stadiums outperform the other ones. Some healthy competition.
Well, of course, all the stadiums are always improving, and they're always working hard to make it better. I would say that the competition should be in this event.
Yeah, definitely. If you've got more questions, you can let us know. It's 0586 861 003. Incredible 34-match competition on the 13th of January. One thing we do want to discuss, and it's of great importance, obviously, is the trophy. Now, you were just commenting there before, Mike, that it was Thomas Light who designed the trophy, and there was something like 27 different designs you went through before you settled on the final one. Yeah,
that's right. It was a long process, and Thomas Light produced the trophy, who are famous trophy manufacturers from England who make the FA Cup and the Rugby World Cup, amongst others.
Oh, I've heard of them.
So yes, there was a long process. There's quite a story and a narrative behind the trophy. We wanted it to be something that could become quite iconic in the world of cricket, the world of sport. And I think you made the comment off air that Clive Lloyd said, what was it he said about a trophy?
Well, he said you want a trophy that when you hold up, you can't see your head.
Yeah, so it's achieved that.
The other person can't see their head.
So it's 830 millimetres tall, which represents the 830 metres of the Burj Al Khalifa. It is 12.2 kilos in weight. And that represents, obviously, the National Day of the UAE, 12th of December. And it's got a lot of, depictions on it of iconic images from the UAE, such as the seven sand dunes and various other things like that.
Emirates.
Seven
kinds
Emirates.
Of sand, yeah.
Exactly. So, yes, it's a beautiful piece of silverware, and it's going to be exciting to see that lifted for the first time on February 12th.
And Zayed, you're very passionate about this. You're quite proud of the trophy design, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. Lots of cultural elements to it and historic elements, like Mike mentioned, the Burj Khalifa, the UAE National Day, and also it has an engraving of Jebel Jais, which is the tallest peak in the UAE.
Of course.
Yeah.
And but there's even something to do with the falcon diving. Is that
Yes.
the inspiration
So
of the body?
The sort of silhouette of the trophy is
The handles.
is the teardrop shape of the falcon diving to represent the national bird.
I
of the
didn't
UAE.
realise so much work goes into a trophy. It's extraordinary. So it's that teardrop shaped symbol that's there, and you've obviously, as we said, the falcon is there. As we know, it's the Emirates National Board. National bird. How long does it take to design this? How long did the process go through from?
I think it took several months, and then several more months in the actual manufacturing process in the silversmith in London. So yeah, a lot of work and a lot of love went into it, but we're pretty thrilled with the result. And we launched the trophy at a big event in Dubai a couple of months ago with all the team owners there, and feedback's been pretty good, and we hope it'll become a coveted trophy in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a reflection of the UAE that they'll be able to make an extraordinary trophy like this that is distinct in sport, that people want to see this. And that's important because when you think of big sporting events, we were talking about this off air, it's iconic what the Ashes looks like, what the Wimbledon plate looks like. And now we've got something here, Zayed, which really stands alongside all the great trophies in world sport.
The UAE international events has always had iconic trophies, always had trophies that represents the culture, and the heritage. So this time, the ILT20 is going to be exceptional.
Yeah, no, it is going to be incredible. Tickets are available. They're on sale in just a couple of days. That website is ILT20.ae. The tickets start from just 20 dirhams. The children's tickets also start from 10 dirhams. There's the hashtag A League Apart. Talk me through this, Mike. We're trying to get much more activity in terms of the multicultural base and get people hashtagging.
Yeah, so a league apart just means it's a
Separates
league
from everything
that
else.
Separates from the part, stands out from the rest. So we hope people will get behind that as a slogan, as a hashtag, and we will be known for being a league apart.
Yeah, no, hopefully we will. We definitely will be competing on that 34-match event, that first event on January the 13th. If you do want to get tickets, it's ILT20. You can Google it and find out more details. But also, the opening ceremony is going to be just extraordinary, as we know that it's going to be featuring Jason Derulo, and also who's the Bollywood superstar who's going to be there?
Badshah.
And you're a converted fan, aren't you?
Well, I've spent a lot of time in India over the years, so yeah, I like my Bollywood, but I think this is a pretty good anthem he's produced, and looking forward to seeing him in action on 13th of January.
Yeah, definitely. Zayed, you'll be there on the first night.
For sure.
And you made the declaration. It's the Dubai Capitals. They're going to be your side.
Right.
What do you think their chances are of making it through to the final?
I'll let you know when the tournament starts.
Okay, he's being very coy. Do you have a team as well, Mike?
I don't think I'm allowed to
you must
support a team. A couple of my favourite players are in action.
Okay,
that's my favourite England player, Moeen Ali, is playing for Sharjah Warriors, but I'm not allowed to support a team.
Okay, you just want to support the England players.
Exactly.
I think I didn't have a team, but considering that Tom Moody came in here, he said to me, "You got to support us," and I was like, "Well, that's good enough for me."
Well, Tom's a nice guy and a friend of the league, so you can support them. That's fine.
And he's exceptional. And how important is it to have these big names? Tom Moody's someone who's coached Sri Lanka to World Cup finals, IPL success. How hard is it to get that first signature across the line for that credibility? Because if you get one or two big signatures, the rest follow.
Yeah, well, that was all down to the teams, really. So once the teams were sold and those teams were lined up, pretty much the first thing that most of them did was sign up their head coaches or their directors of cricket. And, this is a credible tournament, and that's backed up by the fact that we've got people like Tom Moody on board. And we talked earlier about the impact we hope this will have on UAE players playing with the world's best cricketers, but some of the coaches we've got are going to be fantastic for those young UAE players as well. People like Moody, Andy Flower, Phil Simmons, Shane Bond from New Zealand. So lots of top coaches will be over here as well.
Yeah, Phil Simmons is wrapping up his time as the West Indies coach. He's probably going to come over here and have a bit more success.
He's with Zayed's team, Dubai Capitals. So it'll be exciting. There's a lot of West Indies players here, so I think Phil will go well.
Brings a lot of flair. Always a crowd favourite. So Mike Fordham, the head of league operations, and Zayed Abbas, a member of the Emirates Cricket Board. Thank you very much for coming in for the past hour. Congratulations on all of your success so far, and we know it's going to be a huge event on January the 13th. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and look forward to seeing you at a game or two.
We will definitely be there at more than one, I think. More details, ILT20.ae for the DP World ILT20. Tickets go on sale in just a couple of days, and we'll give you